Hello everyone and welcome to part 23 of our Python 3 Basics tutorial series. In this video we're going to round out one of the last things that we want to cover here, and that is dictionaries. And then we're going to put it all together in one larger program and really see how all this stuff can work together, because it's one thing to learn the basics, but it's another thing to learn how you can kind of put all of this stuff together and actually do something with it. Now, we might not do anything, epic with it, but the idea is to show how you can use all of these really simple tools that you've been taught so far to do some really cool stuff. So anyway, on with dictionaries. One of probably the most useful data types in Python is the dictionary. It's a lot like a database, but it's a lot like associative arrays in other languages. So Python doesn't have an associative array, but the closest it has to it is a dictionary. And the idea of a dictionary is to have what are called keys and then values. Now, a dictionary, even though you might, if you recall back, not too long ago, we covered lists and tuples, right? The order that you entered a list or a tuple meant something, right? In a dictionary, it does not mean anything. They are unordered groups, okay? The only association they have at all is the key to the value, and that's it. So all keys have to be unique. The values don't have to be unique. And dictionaries are also mutable. So like a list, you can change things in dictionaries. You can remove, you can add, you can do all sorts of things. Again, they're not ordered, so it does not matter. You wouldn't use insert, for example, because there's no order. You wouldn't sort, and you wouldn't reverse because there's no order, and so on. But you can change things. So let's go ahead and just show an example. So let's say you're a teacher and you're keeping track of your students' grades. So you have grade dict, we'll call it, and that's going to be a dictionary. And the way that you notify Python that you're going to be creating a dictionary is with curly braces, like that. Now, let's say you've got some students. You've got Kelly in your class, and Kelly got, on the last test, an 89. So each element, or each key, so Kelly here is the key, and the value is 89. Now the value can be anything, and the keys can be almost anything, but usually you're going to use either an int float or a string. And then values, same thing, int float or string, but they can also be functions and all kinds of things, and classes and stuff. But for now we'll just make it a number, an int. So Kelly got an 89, and then comma. So this is our, key colon value. So Kelly got an 89. David didn't do so hot. He got a 65. Jack got a 95. And Samantha got a 78. Okay. Now first, what we can do is we can print grade dict like that. We'll save and run it. And output is just the dictionary. Okay. Now, as a teacher, let's say you want to know, what did David score again? You want to be like, let's say this list, you had 500 names in here. Okay. And you wanted to remember, okay, what was David's score? I forget what David's score was. So you could do print, and then to reference a key, you would do grade dict, and then we would say David. So we'll save and run that, and we're reminded that David got a 65. But actually, it turns out that we were wrong. We didn't mean David got a 65. That was a typo. He actually got a 56. So we need to fix that. So how would we fix that? Well, you can change this to be, you could say grade dict David equals 56. Now we can print grade dict, save and run it, And now we get to see that this dictionary has been updated, and David did indeed get a 56 now. Now we can also add students to this. So let's say we want to add a Jesse. So to do that, we do the same thing we just did for David, basically. So grade dict Jesse, and Jesse got a 92. Now we can print grade dict, save and run that, bring it over, and there we see Jesse is in here, got a 92, and so on. So you can update and add people using this same exact syntax. Now let's say, because David is doing so poorly, that David drops the class. So we can remove David from the list by using del grade dict David. And now when we print grade dict, we'll see that David has been removed. So bring that over. And now there is no more David, so he's dropped the class. Now, that's cool, but there's more things that we can do. So say we had another test, and instead, let's go ahead and copy this, and we'll come down here, paste, and now after we've had all of these tests, David dropped. So let's continue that theme, and then we'll add Jesse back. I don't remember what Jesse got, but we'll just say Jesse. What is she? 92. Okay. Now we have another test, and you can make not only just value one simple thing. You can use a list. So you can say Kelly got 89 and an 88. Jack got a 95 and a 87. Samantha got a 78 and 89. And also what we can do is we can use, after each of these commas, we can hit enter, enter, and enter. And this better organizes everything for us so we can see it easier visually. 92 and a 99. Okay, so now we've seen that these can be lists as well. So we can print grade dict, save and run that. We see the old other stuff, but now the new stuff is here. So we see that these are all lists. And then what we can do is we can say print grade. Let's do print grade dict Jesse. Save and run that. We see that Jesse scores 92 and a 99. And we can even reference specific points. So how did Jesse do on the first test? So we could say the 0th element here. Save and run that. And we see that Jesse got a 92. Okay. So you can reference them using a lot of the same syntax as you did with lists. So that's Python lists and a lot of the Python dictionaries and a lot of the basics of Python dictionaries. And really one of the last topics I really wanted to cover with the Python 3 basics. Now in the last chapter, chapter 24, what I'd like to do is kind of bring all of these things together and make one program, a simple program, but a program nonetheless, of all of the things that we've learned so far. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.